scientists around the world race to find a vaccine for COVID-19. Some are considering a controversial method to speed up the process.
Hi folks, I pray you are all well. Today's date is April 27th, 2020. Wanted to talk a bit about a Fox News article that just came across my YouTube subscriptions here and talk a bit about it. And let me just pause for a minute. I want you to take a look at this screen right here. Tell me what it is you see, and tell me the level of utter lunacy, hypocrisy, illegality, illogical. I just can't. If this does not wake you up to the fact that the last month and a half of all this retardedness going on right now was an utter lie and meant to abolish the middle class in America and abroad, I don't know what will. This news clip goes on to talk about injecting healthy adults with live... There are so many things I could say initially to this, but I'm going to play the clip and then give in commentary as I go, as they say these things that they're saying to us. Just hear some of the outlandish things these people are saying on this so-called news broadcast. It'll spin your head. It did mine.
Speed up the process. One headline from ABC News reading, quote, "Injecting healthy adults with live coronavirus provides moral dilemma and faster path to vaccine." Joining us now is Dr. Jeanette Neshwat. She is a family and emergency medicine physician and a Fox News medical contributor. Dr. Neshwat, always good to see you. Thanks for being here this morning. We have a lot of questions. One,
I have a lot of questions too. But before you go on, do some research on this chick. I really not like what you find.
Injecting healthy people with the vaccine to find a vaccine.
Injecting people with a vaccine to find a vaccine.
Obviously, this piece was pointing out the moral dilemma with doing that, but you've got healthy people all over saying, or if they tested positive for the antibody, saying, use me to help find a vaccine so we can get out of this.
So, a couple of questions I have right off the bat is, why do you need to use somebody to find a vaccine? What? Because they have natural antibodies? Natural immunity? To find a vaccine? It doesn't make any realistic sense to me to do this.
Well, that's great that we have lots of volunteers, but we have to remember, Sandra, that it takes about 10 to 15 years to get...
Bam! You hear that? You hear that? Right there. 10 to 15 years. Alright? In case you didn't hear it.
It takes about 10 to 15 years to...
It takes 10 to 15 years.
...get a vaccine on the market.
10 to 15 years to get a vaccine on the market. I don't know about you folks, but I think they literally just admitted something to our faces, that they thought we were too dumb to register initially. But as our friend Brian Young puts it, those of us who have turned off our mind to the cult of personality and are drowning in the sea of cognitive dissonance are all too comfortable to trust these political pundits and so-called public commentator to give us the best representative and also so-called viewpoints on what our lives should be and what they should represent. A vaccine will take 10 to 15 years according to what this woman is saying. In real time. 10 years. That's 120 months. That's 3,650 days. Are you willing to give away that much of your life for a little temporary security? You're willing to give up your liberties, your freedoms, everything you've ever enjoyed in your life. You're willing to give away to these people for a little temporary security because you think a big old bad bug is going to come get you. And more than half of you, when I see you in public, I can't even look you in the face anymore. Not just because you have a mask on, because I realize how quickly and utterly you bought into the stupidity of that cult of personality. Because the big plastic idiot box told you how to think and told you what to do with your lives rather than thinking critically on your own. You went and you just did what a stupid political pundit on TV said to do. When does this lunacy end? At what line are you willing to draw on the sand to say no damned more? I'm sorry to be inflammatory, but I am so upset with people that we're now 44 days into this damn thing, and not a bit more progress has been made to stop what's going on. In fact, they've made things worse. And if you look at what people like Dr. Kaufman have been saying, that being outside, being in the sunlight is the best way you can beat a virus. In fact, putting these face masks on our face actually could be utterly and completely counterproductive to what we're actually trying to do to get better. It's actually inhibited wellness recovery. It's inhibited our ability to fight off other pathogens, to just be well. But so many of you fell for this hook, line, and sinker. I don't know what to tell you. Alright, in my opinion, the virus probably isn't even real. And if it is, it's just the common cold or flu. What you're looking at it's the flu. It makes me remember back to that one 1960s episode of Bewitched where the one food company was struggling. Darren had this client who had this horrible stew in a can that nobody liked and nobody wanted to buy. And Samantha came up with an idea to rebrand it as like cat or dog food and put it in a can and sell it as pet food. And then it was a huge success. You know, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me, like, they took the label off the standard flu because it wouldn't sell anymore. And they went and they repackaged it COVID-19. And now everybody is flying off the shelves and everybody's consuming it en masse. And at what price, guys? At what price? All right, anyway, let's continue.
At an extraordinarily fast pace to get it down into 1.5 years. We have to understand that vaccines have to go through trials, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. And 2 doctors, as reported in the Journal of Infectious Diseases, said, let's, instead of using the regular phase 3 trials, let's just use what's called a human challenge trial, meaning after we've checked for safety and effectiveness and dosaging, let's just inject it straight into patients.
There is so much mental gymnastics to even begin to deduce what this woman is trying to say. First, she's saying that a standard, quote, safe vaccine takes 10 to 15 years to produce, but she wants to reduce that amount of time by 90%. Reduce it into a 10% time window, effectively, is what this woman is trying to say. It's like, how do you safely do that?
Let's just inject it straight into effectiveness and dosaging. Let's just inject it straight into patients. Let's just inject it straight into patients.
I'm about to lose my patience. Inject it straight into patients. The level of clown worldness that is going into all of this. What? No, I'm not even going to try to understand the reasoning. I'm not even going to try to understand what they're getting at or what they're even trying to do at this point. It's just a bunch of stupidity, and they're grasping at straws, and they're trying to see what people are going to go for. Let's continue.
But the question is, we are knowingly asking volunteers to inject themselves with a deadly pathogen.
We are knowingly telling people to inject themselves with a known deadly pathogen.
That could, potentially kill them. And on top of that, I am seeing so many patients, young patients, with heart disease, with strokes, with pulmonary embolisms, blood clots in their heart and their lungs. So there's definitely a risk. This is a bit of an ethical dilemma that we have to also take into consideration.
An ethical dilemma which I'm sure you won't lose any sleep at night once people start dying from your little program.
Very important developments there. This is the Wall Street Journal. Scott Gottlieb this morning. America needs to win the vaccine race, writing, quote, COVID-19 altered world history. It's now evident that public health is part of national security. A successful vaccine will allow Americans to reclaim the country's safety and sovereignty.
Oh my God. Are you still doubting that the vaccine will be mandatory? Are you still doubting it? All of you naysayers out there, are you still gonna frickin' tell me it's not gonna be mandatory? Sure as heck seems like it to me.
First country to reach this prize will be the first nation to recover. So to your point, the race is on to find that vaccine. By most estimates, we're still a year to 18 months out.
We're still a minimum of a year to 18 months out to finding a vaccine. So, tell me, dears, in your infinite wisdom, what little magic government solution do you have for us?
Ask you also now about the talk of this possible new treatment, PEP, the active ingredient in a heartburn drug that we all know. Pepsid. What are we learning on that, with obviously putting out the warning to people listening that nobody's saying to run out and buy this if you're suffering from symptoms of COVID-19, but what are we...
I'm sorry. Drink Pepsi! Drink Pepsi! Drink Pepsi! What? Bismuth subsalicylate? That's... Oh, no, don't think about it. No, please, no, don't think about it. Just continue.
Learning about its effect on COVID.
Sure. So actually, there's a study here in New York where patients are being put on famotidine, which is an over-the-counter medicine. Some people take it for heartburn, like if they eat, something spicy or with like tomato sauce and they have some heartburn, they'll take that medicine. So there's a study.
That's a spicy meatball.
Showing if patients are put on famotidine and hydroxychloroquine, will they have a better outcome? And the reason why doctors got this idea to run this study here in the United States is because in China, doctors noticed that patients that were put on famotidine versus patients that were put on a more expensive type of antacid outlived those who were put on the more expensive antacid.
And you're going by what China's saying. Again! Even at this point in history, you're still going with what effing China is saying.
That's why they decided, let's check this out. Let's see if this is going to work. But basically what happens is famotidine, also known as Pepsid, it acts sort of like a decoy for the virus. So when the virus enters the system, it's going to interact with famotidine and it won't have the opportunity to replicate and cause severe illness. So it's being studied.
Based on what China says.
It's definitely something to look at. It's being given in very high doses in this trial that's going on here in New York. It's not a harmful medicine to take in high doses, so that's always important to make sure we're not doing any harm to our patients during this study. But hey, we need to try and see what works, and if it's effective, that's fantastic.
You might want to do a little bit of research about the negative effects of acid reducers and what can actually happen to your liver, kidney, and pineal glands. But, that's just me. It's not like I learned that in college or anything.
It's going to take some time to see the results of this study.
As always, if you have questions, ask your healthcare provider about that. Final thought.
Kind of hard to do when they're laying them off, sweetheart, en masse. The only ones that you have are state-sponsored ones that we're just supposed to trust what they say and take everything they say with a grain of salt. But yeah, you know better than everyone else.
On Dr. Birx saying this on Meet the Press over the weekend.
Social distancing will be with us through the summer.
Social distancing will be with us through the summer.
Really ensure that we protect one another as we move through these phases.
So with the few seconds that we have left, Dr. Neshwat, just your thoughts about what the summer is going to look like as we start to see parts of the country reopen.
I think if everyone adheres to the CDC guidelines, and we can definitely open up slowly, smartly, in phases. Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3. Remember, the goal is to protect high-risk populations, the most vulnerable. In Phase 1 and 2, most vulnerable have to still shelter at home. But it's very important to make sure that we adhere to the 6 feet guidelines because this virus is very highly infectious and contagious, and we want to definitely prevent the spread of this infection from one person to another by taking these very simple steps.
But you just told us you want to give it to people. You want to give it to people. You just frickin' said that. You said it at the very frickin' beginning. You want to give it to people. But yet we're supposed to social distance? You want to give it to people.
And as the weather gets warmer and the sun's shining in so many areas of the country, it gets harder and harder, but...
What the fuck does that even mean? The sun is shining, but yet it gets harder and harder. Isn't it supposed to get easier as warm weather comes across? Isn't sunlight supposed to kill it? More of the stupid fake news media and their misreporting of things and misrepresenting the facts. These people are your enemies. Even if they are political pundits, bought and paid for, these people are your enemies. Never forget that, America. Never, ever forget that. Maybe not the people themselves, they're just trying to earn a paycheck, I get it, but they're selling their souls and the rest of our country out to the highest bidder. They are prostitutes of the highest magnitude. The people they work for are certainly forces to be reckoned with, but I really think the best thing you can do to get back at these people is stop watching them, period. That's all I got to say for now. What about you?